The Smart School Class 4 Science Video Lesson 3. We continue from chapter number 1, Our Body. Today we are going to study major body organs and their functions. We shall study from page number 3 to page number 5. You shall need Smart Science 4 textbook, notebook and pencils during this lesson. Shall we start? By the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify the parts, functions, and disorders of human ear. Describe the digestion and the breathing processes in human body. Explain the working of brain and heart. Identify how bones, joints, and muscles help us in movement. We shall do a recap of what we have studied in the previous lesson. Which parts of human eye are labeled in this picture? What is this white part called? And what is the name of this colored part? This part is called sclera. And this colored part is called iris. Which of the following is a function of iris? To control how much light enters the eye, to focus on an object, to connect eye to the brain, or to protect eye from dust and germs. The correct answer is to control how much light enters the eye. We shall go through some important words for this lesson. Balance, sound signals, deafness, infection, throat, esophagus, stomach, chyme, oxygen, carbon dioxide, cerebrum, cerebellum, brainstem, atrium, ventricle, skeleton, contracting, relaxing. What happens when you clap your hands? Go on, clap your hands for a moment. Do you hear a sound? What makes you hear that sound? That is your ear. Ears enable us to hear sounds. Can you name the parts of the ear? The names of the parts of the ear are outer ear, middle ear, and the inner ear. This picture shows the three parts of the ear. The sound waves enter through the outer ear. They go on towards the middle ear and the inner ear where it is connected to the brain. How do we maintain our body balance? You see, this person is trying to maintain the balance. What body part is helping him? Ears help us to maintain our body balance. What is the ear disorder when a person cannot hear? It is called deafness, and it is treated by this special instrument. Sometimes we feel pain in our ears. Do you know why? Of many reasons, it may be ear infection, which is one of the reasons of the pain in the ears. What happens to the food when we eat it? It gets digested in the stomach. Digested means the food is broken down into smaller pieces so that our body can absorb it. This is a process done in the stomach. How does the stomach digest food? You see, this is an internal picture of what happens inside the human stomach. The first part is the walls of the stomach churn. Churning means that they rotate and twist and make digestive juices. Food is mixed with these juices to form chyme. This is the soup-like formation called chyme when food is mixed with the digestive juices. Now it is absorbed for performing different body functions. Can you name some of the disorders of the stomach? They are stomach ulcer, gastritis, and stomach cancer. These are some of the disorders of the stomach. What is the main function of our lungs? The main function of the lungs is to help us breathe. Our lungs are protected by the rib cage. These are special bones which protect our internal organs, including the lungs. How do we breathe in and out? The functions of the lungs can be studied through this picture. When we breathe in, the lungs expand. When we breathe out, the lungs relax, just as shown in this picture. Lungs take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. When we breathe in, we take in oxygen with us. And when we breathe out, we give out carbon dioxide. Lungs expand, as you can see, when the air comes in, and they relax when the air goes out. Can you think of two common disorders of the lungs? Bronchitis and asthma are two common disorders of lungs. A quick quiz based on what we have studied so far. Can you tell which of the following organs helps us in maintaining the body balance? Is it the stomach, or the ear, or the lungs? The correct answer is the ear helps us in maintaining the body balance. Brain. What is the control center of our body? Which part of our body is responsible for controlling all of our actions? It is the brain, which consists of three main parts: the cerebrum, the cerebellum, and the brainstem. Cerebrum is the largest part of the brain. It controls memory, speech, thoughts, and feelings. That means these things will be affected if your cerebrum is not working properly. Cerebellum. It helps to maintain body balance, controls our movements, and makes our muscles move together. And brainstem is what connects the brain to all the other parts of the body. Can you name any disorder of the brain? Brain hemorrhage and brain tumor are some of the common disorders of the brain. We shall now see a video that will explain to us the working of human heart and how the blood circulates through it.
The heart is an efficient muscular pump. A normal heart is composed of 4 chambers: the right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, and left ventricle. Deoxygenated blood, shown as blue, returns from the body into the right atrium. Next, blood moves into the right ventricle, which pumps it through the pulmonary artery to the lungs to be oxygenated. From the lungs, oxygenated blood, shown as red, returns to the heart into the left atrium through 4 pulmonary veins. It then enters the left ventricle, which pumps blood through the aorta to the rest of the body.
Can you name any disorder of the heart? Some of the common disorders of the heart are heart attack and angina pectoris. In these disorders, you feel a sharp pain on the left side of your chest, and this pain seems to go through towards the left arm, as shown in this picture. Bones. Do you know the number of bones in human body? You may be surprised to know that the babies have 300 bones in their skeleton, while the adults have only 206 bones. Do you think of a reason why? The reason is that adults have lesser bones as we grow. Our bones join together and become harder. So out of these 300 bones, many bones join together, and hence when we are adults, only 206 different bones are left in the human skeleton. What is the main function of the bones? The main function of the bones is to give our body shape and posture. Without the skeleton, our body will look like this. We shall not be able to sit or stand or walk. Bones also protect our internal organs. You see, here the rib cage is shown to protect our internal organs like the lungs and the heart, the liver and the stomach. Similarly, the skull protects our brain. Think of the problems people have with their bones. Can you name any 2 of them? One of them is of course very common, which is bone fracture. Also, people have bone infection. These 2 are some of the common disorders of bones. What are joints? Joints are the points in the body where 2 or more bones meet. You can see in this picture 2 bones and third one over here are joining together at this point. This is a knee joint. What is the main function of the joints? Joints enable us to move. We cannot move without our joints. We shall now go through different types of joints in the human body. There are 2 main types of joints. One of them is movable joints and the other is immovable joints. As the name suggests, immovable joints do not allow movement. They are fixed in the skull. they do not move. Movable joints which allow movement are further divided into two main categories. One of them is hinge joint. It allows movement in only one direction. As you can see, this elbow joint is moving only in one direction, that is up and down. Knee joint is also an example of the hinge joint. On the other hand, ball and socket joints allow movement up and down as well as right and left. You see a picture of the shoulder joint. The movement is not only left and right, it is also up and down. So this joint is free to move in any direction. It is called as a ball and socket joint. Can you name any joint disorders? As you can see from this picture, this is where joints have disorders. Bone fracture and gout are two main disorders of joints. Muscles. What are present between our skin and bones? This is the human skin. This is the human skeleton. In between the skin and the skeleton, muscles are present. What is the main function of muscles? It is to allow movement in our body. They allow movement through contraction and relaxation. Here you can see triceps and biceps. If one contracts, the other relaxes. Types of muscles. There are two main types of muscles called as voluntary muscles and involuntary muscles. Voluntary muscles are those which work under our conscious control. That means you can make them work according to your own will. You can make them stop or you can make them move again. For example, this knee muscle that you can see, you can move this muscle present in your leg on your own choice. If you don't want to move it, it will not move. And if you want to move it, it will start moving. Involuntary muscles are those which are not under your conscious control. You cannot control the movement of these muscles. These are muscles in heart and stomach. You can see the pumping of the heart muscles here. They are not in the direct control of the human body. We cannot stop their movement, just we can stop the movement of the muscles present in the legs. Muscle disorders. Some people cannot move a part or whole of their body. This particular disease or disorder is called paralysis. You can see here, this person has paralysis on the lower side of his body. The legs cannot move due to this disorder. Here the person has full body paralysis. Here the movement of any part of the body is almost impossible. Muscle fatigue and strain are also some of the common disorders present in muscles. Time for a quick quiz based on what we have learned so far. You have to tell which of the following is an example of involuntary muscles. In other words, which of these muscles can work under your direct control? Are these the muscles in stomach, or the muscles in legs, or the muscles in arm? The correct answer is muscles in stomach are involuntary muscles. You cannot control them as you can control the muscles in legs or in the arm. Hinge joints are present in shoulders, skull, or the knee. The correct answer is hinge joints are present in the knee. We shall now summarize what we have learned so far in this lesson. We listen through our ears. There are three parts of an ear: outer ear, middle ear, and inner ear. Food is digested in stomach, where food mixes with digestive juices. Some of it is absorbed while the rest goes to waste. The main function of lungs is to help us breathe. We breathe in oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. Brain controls all the functions of our body. It has three parts: cerebrum, cerebellum, and brainstem. Heart pumps blood to all the parts of the body. It has four chambers: right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, and left ventricle. Bones, joints, and muscles give support to our body and help us to move. Your home task is to read pages 3 and 5 of the textbook. Then you are going to attempt exercise question B given on page number 6 of the textbook on your notebook. This question will look like this, given on page 6 of the textbook. Your second task is to attempt exercise questions D4 to 10 as listed in this picture here. These questions are given on page 7 of the textbook in the new edition, and you are going to attempt these questions on your notebook. Good luck.